Yay Media Group.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Zabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
Amy. And I'm Lacey G.
And today we are going to be breaking down a very sexy song.
Oh my goodness, it is spicy.
It's a little, I almost feel like I should not be listening to this song. Like I feel like this is not meant for my ears, right?
Is that what you expected him to say, Amy?
Were you saying vulgar?
It's I don't know if it's vulgar. I think it's on the verge of vulgar because it's, you know, she's kind of being very subtle with how spicy this song is, right? Like it's not as overt and obvious as Dress. Like you listen to Dress once, you know what that's about. Mm-hmm. But you listen to this, and then you're like, is she?
Right.
It
took me a bit.
Oh.
It took me turning to TikTok to be like, what are y'all talking about? I didn't know. I didn't draw those conclusions. I also didn't draw all the conclusions that were made today during my research. There's a lot of biblical that I didn't know and I didn't understand until doing a deep dive into it.
Also, Anna says hi. She can't be with us today.
Hello. So yeah, Guilty of Sin. Track number 9, written by Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff. So when you're writing kind of a spicy song, is that something that you do with a friend? Like, is that something that you're, especially a friend of the opposite sex, and you're talking about something extremely personal? I mean, I guess they got a close relationship like that,
They
you know?
do.
Yeah.
I think
like,
so.
Like brother and sister. I mean, I think that's different. That person knows you on a next level kind of way. So you can be yourself and be more open about stuff and not have it taken in the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I have plenty of guys like that.
And I mean, writing songs is very personal. So this is just next level personal.
Yeah, it really is.
Who overshares? I know I overshare.
You do. Lacey, I don't think you and I have the relationship where we would write this song together. I don't think that that's going to be happening.
No, but we have enough of a relationship that I've hit on you many, many times on this podcast.
That's
because
true.
we both know that I don't mean anything behind it. I'm just complimenting you because I think you're a gorgeous person.
Lacey, did you write Guilty of Sin about me?
No, absolutely not.
Am I your Maddie Healy?
No, I love you, not in that kind of way.
That's what the streets are saying this song is about. Her longing and lust for the one that she's not with. And people are assuming it's Maddie? That's what the streets say, right?
Right. That's what the streets say.
Okay.
Well, and
That's
it
a good
also
assumption.
kind of alludes to, we've wondered if they had a situationship, if there was bouts of possibly hooking up together during her relationship. She's called herself a cheater. She's pointed that out many times. But then this song alludes to that it was nothing more than just longing, that nothing did happen, maybe spoken promises or something, or man, we just messed this up again because you got in a relationship, I got in a relationship, the timing's never right.
Right.
But they were still flirting with the idea, not cheating, maybe, allegedly.
Right. Is it cheating when you're having an emotional affair? Those fantasies and not acting on it, is that considered a cheat? I
What do
think
y'all
that's
think?
the whole song
What do
is
you think?
about. I think there is a boundary that you can cross, that line you cross, and then it is. But I think that's the line she's trying to find right now.
Right. Like you're
In a
saying,
song.
you're saying a little fantasy's okay. But the extreme lust that seems to be coming from this song may be pushing a boundary.
Right.
Okay.
Or if you're just doing it in your head but not reaching out to this other person, then is that considered emotional cheating, emotional affair? Because I wouldn't think so. Like, you can think something in your head and not act on it. But then if you're actively reaching out to this person and I'd rather be with you, good morning, beautiful, I mean, something like that, then that could be
I don't know. That's what
Emotional,
she's asking.
yeah.
She wants to know because it's almost to the point where she's not being honest with the current relationship. You know,
Right.
she is having an emotional affair.
Ooh. Taylor. Now, we don't know this is about her. She always says that she writes
The
about
character, right.
different characters and just people
True.
and just ideas, not necessarily that they have to write
She in
about herself.
quotations.
Yeah. And hey, she co-wrote this with Jack. Maybe this is more from Jack's perspective.
I don't know.
Okay. So should we get into the nitty-gritty here?
Yes.
All right. Taylor starts off by singing, "Drowning in the Blue Nile. He sent me downtown lights." I already have no idea what she's saying. Drowning in a blue Nile, downtown lights. He sent me downtown lights. What's that?
So I think there's a double meaning. Blue Nile is a band, and one of their songs from 1989 is called Downtown Lights, and it's a love song, and it's a soul-crushing loneliness in a city of hope. That's what the song is about.
The song came out in 1989?
Yes.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also, you're in a river of sorrow, the Blue Nile. So I think she's kind of playing with the words there.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Nile is also a religious place that's been talked about before. I'll have more on that later. I mean, it's not a religion. It's a place. It's a place, and it has some religious ties to it. But CeCe Grace on TikTok did tell us what Downtown Lights is about, the song by Blue Nile that Amy just referenced, and kind of reads the song so we know more about it.
The opening lines to Guilty as Sin. "Drowning in the Blue Nile, he sent me downtown lights. I hadn't heard it in a while." I didn't know that reference, so I looked it up. And these are the lyrics. Every single word is... "Sometimes I walk away when all I really want to do is love and hold you right. Nobody loves you this way. How do I know you feel it?" Okay, there's more. The neons and the cigarettes, rented rooms and rented cars. It feels like Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy to a T. And the idea that he sent this song to her while she was with other people and that they had this song connecting them all this time. Oh, this album wrecked me.
Interesting.
I know.
That's when she's referencing this song that Taylor is referencing. It's giving "You'll be flushed when you return" kind of vibes, like secret hotel rooms, sneaking around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Okay, so more on Blue Nile, or the Nile River, really is what I mean. In Greek folklore, I want to say Osiris was murdered and thrown into the Blue Nile, or the Nile. People who were drowned in the Nile were considered sacred, and if anyone was to touch them or be involved with them in any sort of way, they would receive blessings as well. And Osiris ended up getting slayed, and this symbolizes the struggle between order and disorder and the disruption of life by death. So this could also be symbolic in the way that Taylor's struggled a lot publicly, and with her toying with the idea of right and wrong. Do I go against the grain because of something that I feel, or do I remain this good girl who doesn't act out the way that she feels? So Osiris, his body was cut into pieces and scattered around Egypt, and cult centers of Osiris all over the country claimed that this corpse or particular pieces of it were found near them, and they would reap these benefits if they were around it. So they're seeking out this person's already destroyed, cut up, scattered throughout the world, and people are like, that his cult was like, I need to go be around these dead body parts so I can get the benefits from it.
Weird.
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says, "Drowning in the Blue Nile, he sent me downtown lights. I hadn't heard it in a while." That makes sense. It's a song.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard it in a while.
Also, how long had he been sending it to her? Like you said, this is something that they've toyed with, and he's, babe, this song is us.
Yeah, just a reminder.
My boredom is bone deep. This cage was once just fine. Am I allowed to cry? So this cage, she's talking about this cage of... Is she singing about the cage was once just fine, the cage of the relationship she's in now? Or that she cannot have... Like, is she caged that she can't have the relationship she really wants with who she's dreaming about?
Yeah, I'm thinking of the prison, fresh out of the slammer.
Yeah.
And then she's mentally checked out. That's why she's bored to death.
Yeah.
Her and Joe allegedly had silent dinners, would like go out in public, tolerate it. So she's so bored, and this cage that she was once in that she escaped to with Joe, it was fine. She was fine being out of the public eye. She was fine with the relationship, and now she's not. Now she's extremely bored, looking up at the ceiling like in lavender haze, and this cage was fine, but now it's not. Now I'm ready to escape.
What you just said totally makes sense in my head, because you also said tolerate it, and how they have silent dinners on the Eras tour. Tolerate it, which was like my favorite performance of the whole night. They're sitting on opposite ends. It's like that scene from a movie of two people that are unhappy not talking, and they're sitting on opposite ends of a 20-foot-long table in a fancy mansion, and they're miserable. Oh,
and if you've ever been in that situation, it is absolutely miserable to be around somebody who doesn't care to be around you. That is just, why are we here not speaking to each other? So she's done. And am I allowed to cry? I don't know. I don't know if she was allowed to express her emotions, or if it's like, you're being a baby, don't cry. This isn't a big deal. You know, kind of the gaslighting situation that you're in the wrong for how you feel, which no one's ever in the wrong for how they feel. You can't help how you feel. You can help how you react. But you shouldn't disregard someone's feelings and emotions, though.
Yeah, and we're about to read all the fantasies that she's having about a potential relationship. So can she have all these real emotions about imaginary relationship that's not going on? And can she mourn a relationship that's not even really over yet? I mean, she's still there, had dinner. The relationship's not over, but she's still crying about it because she knows where it's at. It's not good.
So she's singing about being in a cage, and then she goes on to say, I dream of cracking locks and throwing my life to the wolves or the ocean rocks, crashing into him tonight. He's a paradox.
So obviously she's wanting to break free. She's willing to
crack the locks and throw her life away. Woo!
There were also some unlifing ideologies earlier on in the album. I can't remember if it was, I think it was Tortured Poets Department song. But there was some ideology of that. So I don't know if that's what it's referencing for just the dramatization of it, throwing her life out to the wolves or to the ocean rocks and hoping she gets swept away by the ocean into him tonight.
Right. Well, from the prologue, she says, out of the slammer into a tidal wave. So it could be referencing that. And then also Midnight's ends with Hits Different, and the lyrics say, I heard your key turn in the door down the hallway. Is your key in the door? Is it okay? Is it you? Or have they come to take me away? So that's cracking of the locks. You know, as she's picking up with TTPD and where her lover can enter into her world, her imaginary lover.
And she says, crashing into him tonight, he's a paradox. So I had to look up what a paradox is. It's something with two meanings that don't make sense together.
So
opposites?
Yeah. So he, if this is Maddie Healy in this instance, he's a bad guy. The public hates him, but he's the one for her. He's the one that she was willing to give everything up for. So everybody else views him as bad, but it's her one true love.
Right. She's ruining herself, throwing it to the wolves for him.
I'm seeing visions. Am I bad or mad or wise?
Okay. This is a C.S. Lewis reference that goes to the divinity of Jesus, historically, and they call it the Lewis trilingual. So Jesus of Nazareth was a real person. In the Bible, historically, like it's been proven, Jesus was a real person. So people either thought of him, people who knew him in real time, thought of him as bad, mad, or wise. Bad if you're lying and saying you're the son of Christ and you're not. Mad because you're a crazy person saying you can do all these things and we don't believe you. Or wise because he could do what he was doing.
Right.
Yeah, I think she's just saying that she's being tortured by love.
And this line is very rebellious. Am I bad? Am I mad? Am I wise? Because she's rebelling against this thing that's been the status quo for so long. And now her mind is drifting elsewhere. She's being rebellious. What if he's written mine on my upper thigh? And mine is in quotes. Like, literally, what if he has written the word mine? I don't know if that comes across when you first hear it. What if he's written mine?
Not the first time
Ownership,
I listened to it.
possession. This is mine on my upper thigh.
So
It's a crazy place to write mine.
Again, a biblical reference. Revelation 19:16 says Jesus on his robe and on his thigh, he has this name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Interesting.
So I really don't understand what that means. I did text someone and ask them. They said it means he's the highest of power. So this person who would have mine, who would possess her in that way, would have the highest power of her.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a biblical thing. To me, it's a sexual thing. You're putting it in a very intimate place on her body and saying, I'm owning, like,
Right, and
in a consensual way, saying, like, this is mine.
right,
Claiming this area, this is mine.
and obviously the reference of the 2010 Speak Now song.
And I did not mean it as a biblical reference in this instance, but it is interesting that there is still biblical ties to
Sure.
it, that this is a quote from the Bible. Also, how many people have gotten mine tattooed on them since this song?
Not I.
Not me.
Really genuinely curious. One of my girlfriends did. It was her very first tattoo.
Is she in a
Really?
relationship?
She's going to tell us all about it.
Oh.
I'm going to play that at the end. She's going to tell us her story because it is hilarious. But me as a friend, with her getting her very first tattoo, I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Just because you don't have any tattoos, and that's sacred for a person who doesn't have tattoos. I got tattoos way too young, and it looks like it. It looks like it. They have definitely aged along with my body. So I didn't know if she wanted to be a little irrational. It felt like she had no tattoos and then was like, this guy made me mad, I'm getting this tattoo. She's going to tell us all about it at the end of the episode. But I wonder who else has it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Taylor Swift
seen
fans. I've seen
videos,
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I usually see the videos, it's in the handwriting of their partner.
Right.
So the partner writes it, and it really sucks if the guy you're dating has terrible handwriting. Like,
I
it looks
have
like
terrible.
a kindergarten. I have terrible
Oh, we
handwriting.
did this, didn't we?
We did it. We posted it on our
Right.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It was probably the old one that doesn't exist
It's
anymore.
true.
But-
Maybe we'll repost
But
it.
if you're trying to get this sexy tattoo in a sexy spot and your lover just has chicken scratch handwriting,
Right.
it might take some of the sexiness away, right?
Well, I would think that you would have it written out the way that you want to and then have them trace it or something. That way you can still say this is the handwriting of them, or they had some part in it. But no, I would not get chicken scratch writing on me. And I have really bad tattoos and almost not good judgment at all. By the way, our new Instagram account, please give us a follow. We lost our old one. Really, really sucks. But our new one is at the 13TS podcast. Also, if you do have a mine tattoo or a Taylor Swift tattoo, tag us. We'd love to see it. By the way, Ari from Origin Tattoo, who came out to our Swifties in the
Yes.
park, she was one of the vendors. She's fantastic. She was the one who did my friend's tattoo.
Oh, that's great.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you, Ari.
So Taylor's singing, what if he's written mine on my upper thigh, only in my mind?
Her
So
sexual desires.
she is daydreaming, fantasizing.
Yeah.
she is thinking about somebody else owning her body for a time. One slip and falling back into the hedge maze. Oh, what a way to die. So one slip to me sounds like someone who's in recovery.
Right.
You slip up. You were addicted to something. I'm trying this new path that's probably better for me, Joe. This is probably better for me. Mm-hmm. But one slip.
It does sound like that.
One slip and then you're back. You've fallen. You're off the wagon. Fallen off the wagon. And then also, when I hear hedge maze, I can't help myself. I think of Homer Simpson backing into a hedge. I think of the GIF. Has nothing to do with this song.
Right.
But hey, Homer's caught in something that he doesn't want to comment on, and he's just stepping backward.
Well, there are other references that are more Taylor
That's
Swift
not a Simpsons
themed.
GIF reference?
No, I think it's more Labyrinth
Yeah.
or Wonderland. Those might be a better fit for the hedge maze. And What a Way to Die is just the self-destructive, just like Florida, just like, I don't know.
Throwing
it all
but
away.
the way she sings it, oh, what a way to die, she's not disappointed in dying this way.
No,
she's
she's
like,
willing.
Here we go.
Yep.
I mean, at least die in ecstasy, at least die in
Exactly.
fantasy and pleasure, feeling good.
I'm going down feeling great.
Yeah. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Halloween lets us have fun with what scares us, but what about those fears that are real life and don't involve zombies and ghosts, like maybe being vulnerable is one of your fears? And that's why we think you should talk to our friends at BetterHelp, because therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them. I know that with talking to my therapist from BetterHelp, I have seen benefits in my own personal growth and mental awareness that I now have. It's helped me learn positive coping skills, how to set up boundaries, and has empowered me to be a better version of myself.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Taylor Swift Fan today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Taylor Swift Fan.
And she says, I keep recalling things we never did. What are those things?
Just more desires.
Are we, because this is a sexy song, is she thinking about things they haven't physically done together?
I think so.
I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
The messy top lip kiss and how I long for your trysts, which I had to look up. It's a private romantic rendezvous between lovers. I knew, but I wanted to know like the exact words. I had an idea.
And when she's saying she's longing for the trysts, does that mean, are you longing for something that's already happened? That's why you're longing for it?
I don't think so.
Things we never did, so I don't think so.
Yeah, true.
Which now that we're talking about it during this song, just a thought. What if this was something she had longed and lusted over for so long and then did it and it was underwhelming?
Right.
Sure.
Like there would be nothing worse than that, than having these high expectations for someone who couldn't deliver. I mean, he didn't deliver lovingly.
Other
if this
levels.
yeah,
Yeah.
but to not be able to deliver in that way. And it's like, well, I already love you. Now it's too far. Now I'm stuck with.
I think if this is about who we think it is, I think that question is answered.
He looks like he couldn't.
But no, not just in the bedroom.
Just on
But
any
you're talking
level.
about underwhelming. I mean, she tried it. It didn't work out. It was a short-lived romance.
Yeah.
And so I think we have the answer, whether it's about bedroom stuff, but just she was longing for this relationship. And the physical part is part of that relationship.
Right.
Just the relationship in totality did not live up to expectations. And that's me assuming that she's the one that broke it off.
Well, he ghosted her.
Yeah. Okay.
He love bombed her and ghosted
And
her.
then left.
So, I mean, we
I think it
know
just
he
got
didn't
too-
deliver.
he-
and
Sorry.
He got overwhelmed, or
I think it was too much.
too much
for him.
pressure?
Yeah. I mean, not that he needs excuses.
he's the smallest man who ever lived. He can't have the global icon superstar Taylor Swift, and he's front man of this band. And Swift Talk is like, there's still people on Swift Talk who's like, I had never seen him before. And then I found him on some random video and it's like, this is the person. But you can't judge someone by their, I mean, you don't know. If everything was based on looks, then we would choose completely differently. So, but people were making fun of him like, this washed up looking rat. I'm saying other people.
Out of her ordinary type, for sure.
Yeah. And she continues by ending this chorus by saying, without ever touching his skin, how can I be guilty as sin?
Isn't it okay? We haven't done anything.
We haven't done it. What? And I mean, I don't have any of the biblical references in here, but if you're guilty as sin, sin is a biblical reference. I mean, pretty sure in the Bible it says, even if you think it, you've done it. Like, even if you think it, you have sinned. So you are guilty of sin, even if you're thinking about it.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
That's what she's toying with the idea of.
So, and I learned all this from Swift Talk, so I apologize if I'm getting any of it wrong. It really amazed me how much was in there. So I apologize if in my delivery I'm messing something up. Do not mean to. This was just new information for me. But in the Bible, John 20:17 says, do not cling to me. This is right after he resurrected from the dead, moved the tomb away, and he's alive again. He told Mary Magdalene, do not cling to me, for I have not ascended to the Father, but go to my brothers and tell them I am ascending to my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God. Well, what someone theorized was she believed him, Mary Magdalene believed him to be the Son of God without touching him. He's saying, don't touch me. So she didn't like feel something and get this magic power from him or this feeling from him. She believed him through faith and without touch. And so that could be somewhat what she's referencing if she's looking to the Bible for inspiration, if she's looking to something or just making references to different things, which Taylor Swift is very much known to do. But also, there's no such thing as bad thoughts. Only your actions talk. Could be in reference to some things that are considered to be a sin in some religions. Masturbation is one of them. You're supposed to save that for your married partner and not do that on your own. Also, being gay is viewed as sin in some religions. And I'm just passing that information on. That's not personally how I feel, but it's not bad unless you act on them, is what I read earlier. But y'all are saying in the Bible, it does say like impure thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, later on, I guess we should keep on going with the next verse because it talks about the fatal fantasies, which is talking about how it would kill her relationship. You know, whatever she's thinking could be the end, even though she is already feeling that it's ending.
Yeah, and again, I feel weird talking about this, but sorry, I'm not choked up. I choked on my water.
You're good.
I feel weird as a guy talking about this because it sounds like what she's talking about is doing very intimate things with herself in this song. And so, yeah, she's throwing all this religion in there and talking about sin when she's doing something sinful in her mind, doing something sinful physically. And it's just like, ooh, there's a lot going on here. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm not the one that's supposed to be talking about this.
It's weird
I feel
to talk
a little dirty.
about. It's weird to talk about for sure, but it's also natural. So, I mean, not that it needs to be discussed, but don't be a martyr for yourself for something that everybody does. Okay, it's not weird. I've had conversations with little people just to
What?
Well, I don't want to name a specific name because then that's weird, but you have to have that conversation at some point that things are natural if you're doing anything. Whatever, moving on. Now I feel weird. Are we
talking
weird.
about little people as in age or little people as in stature?
Younger people.
Younger people. Okay, I was talking about little people.
No. I'm not just walking around
like,
telling everybody, but
should I get Anna to make a highlight of this part? because that just took me back.
But the conversations that do need to be had. Nick, one day.
But like with younger people or
Yes.
with, are you talking about this with little, like height-wise little people? That's what my mind is thinking.
People in my life that need to have information, I have provided them with information. I'm not just going out to little people or kids and telling them this stuff. People in my life that I can share my knowledge with.
That's good.
Go talk to Auntie Lacey. She'll give you everything you need.
Conversations need to be had. I think I have no kids. Don't listen to me. But
Taylor continues by saying, I keep these longings locked in lowercase inside a vault. So she's not telling anybody that she's thinking, daydreaming. And when she says in the vault, she's talking about her song vault. Is she writing about this person without telling us she's writing about this person?
I think so, because she's saying lowercase, which was Folklore, Evermore, Reputation. That album was lowercase, and then there's a few songs in TTPD that are lowercase. So maybe she's been referencing him all along, and that's how she covered it up with the lowercase vault.
Are any of the songs she wrote with William Bowery in lowercase?
I didn't do the research on that.
Ooh.
But
yeah,
possibly.
Champagne Problems, for sure, they wrote that together, right? And I can't remember what else, but I mean, they wrote together on Folklore and Evermore.
They did. I just don't know if they were necessarily about Maddie. But yeah.
Hard to speculate or to believe that Taylor Swift was miserable for that long writing these kind of songs, but then also how emotional those songs are, and to find out in the end she was ignored. So I mean, was it a little bit of truth mixed in there that she's writing as fictional? Was it feelings that she was having and didn't share, or possibly wasn't allowed to share because you're just being dramatic? I don't know, but it's a very interesting thought.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore.
So for the biblical reference, lowercase in the Bible, God and he, if they're referring to God or Jesus, is uppercase. So lowercase could also just be a reference to it being completely unholy. That this is something, because if you're referring to a holy person, it's going to be capitalized, even if it's just saying he, but you know it's he, God, he, Jesus, because it's capitalized.
Well, and talking about, I mean, she says the word holy later on in the song too.
Yeah, and I feel like she might even view love as her religion. I mean, she's obsessed with it.
Religion in these hips.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the lyric, right? In False God?
Sure. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm believing
religion
you.
is in these hips.
I believe you. Should I check you?
Sure.
I'm working off my phone today. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm not being rude. I left my laptop and I'm working off my phone today. So that's why I have my phone on me. And that's also why I'm not looking it up for you, Nick, because I've got the lyrics pulled up and my notes, and that's all my phone can handle.
The altar is my hips.
The altar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you were close.
Something about whatever. I can't think of it right now. I'm a bad Swiftie.
The altar is my hips again. Those are the only two hips.
What did you see? What's the line about religion in that song? Sorry. Googling on a podcast.
Religion is in your lips.
In your lips. Okay. I mixed up lines. Okay.
At the 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast on YouTube, if you want to watch us Google Live. And at the 13 TS podcast is our new Instagram page.
She goes on to say, someone told me there's no such thing as bad thoughts. Only your actions talk. I don't know. I think there's bad thoughts. You can have bad thoughts, right?
I don't know. It reminds me of the Minority Report. Do y'all remember that Tom Cruise movie?
Yeah, Tom Cruise, futuristic.
Yeah, you like think that you want to murder someone, and then you get accused and sent away because you had that thought, and there's like this futuristic way to...
Yeah, but I mean, if you're thinking about killing someone, that's a bad thought.
Well, okay, well, you're thinking about having an affair.
That's a bad thought.
You're not actually doing it,
But
though.
it is a bad thought.
I don't know. I don't think you should be accused of something you haven't done yet. That's
I mean,
that's
you
the
thought
whole
it.
that's the whole idea of the song is like,
Sure.
is this so bad?
We've all had bad thoughts.
Sure.
So to not act on the bad thoughts
Mm-hmm.
means that you're not sinning.
Right.
I would think you can think bad things all you want. Don't try to think positive and be in a better mindset. But if you think bad things and don't do it, then
It's better than doing it.
yeah.
You're in a better place than what you would have been in if you did act.
Well, and she goes on to sing, these fatal fantasies giving way to labored breath. She's getting spicy here.
She's getting hot and heavy.
I just see her like, woo, fanning herself.
Remember, guys, she's all alone right now. And she's having fatal fantasies giving way to labored breath, taking all of me. We've already done it in my head.
So what are you referring to, Nicholas?
I mean, I think she's alone by herself. Her fantasies are running rampant.
Yeah.
She's thinking about something else. And man, she is starting to breathe a little heavy here.
She's looking guilty.
She's, yeah. I don't know. You tell me, Lacey. Again, I feel weird talking about this.
I know.
Don't make me say it.
I was just trying to push you.
We've already done it in my head. If it's make-believe, why does it feel like a vow? We'll both uphold somehow. A vow that we'll both hold up somehow.
So I think it just feels so real somehow because I guess her living out her imaginary fantasies.
Does
that
it feel real because she's thought about it so much?
Maybe, and that it's bound to happen. Like she's
Right.
going to make it a reality at some point.
And they'll uphold that vow. Somehow, it's going to happen.
Well, they're allegedly sending each other songs that are referencing this. So even if it hasn't been spoken or it's just been in jest that we're joking that, oh, we're meant to be together one day, she's really fantasizing and thinking that this is going to happen. And then whenever they had their shot, no.
And then after this, she goes into singing more of the chorus. What if he's written mine on my upper thigh, only in my mind? One slip and falling back into the hedge maze. Homer Simpson. Oh, what a way to die.
Nick, we don't know where Taylor Swift gets her inspiration from.
No.
We like to try to draw it to all these people because that's Captain Obvious in front of us and what we have related it to based on what we know publicly about her, but we don't know where she draws information from. So your Homer Simpson meme might not be that far off.
Lacey,
It might.
right now, are you saying Taylor Swift is fantasizing about Homer Simpson?
No, I'm saying the maze might have gotten a meme. The meme might
Sure.
have inspired something.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I
think
you're
she's a
probably
little
right.
bit deeper than that.
And then she gets a little bit more spicy here. She says, my bed sheets are ablaze.
But what does that mean? What does bed sheets are ablaze mean? Blank Plate Podcast shared this theory that ties it into just so much bigger that blew my mind. So please enjoy.
You know how the Lover House burns down on the Eras tour? And like, the album cover of Midnights is her with the lighter. And a lot of people are like, oh, she burnt down the Lover House. But like, what happens if like her bed sheets were ablaze? And that's what tore the Lover House down.
During Wildest Dreams, isn't the imagery
Yeah,
the bed on fire?
yeah. Oh my god!
That imagery, I think, would have been decided before this song was written. Unless she was writing this song during Midnights. And it was in the Midnights vault until it came out on this.
Yeah. I mean, has she had this idea in her head for that long, you know?
Well, there's also the Archer, and it says the room is on fire, invisible smoke. So, I don't know.
Teddy Swims has a song called Bed on Fire.
Yeah,
Just, like a common thing to say.
and Bruno Mars.
The
I think, has
passion is
one.
so great.
Yeah.
It's on fire.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Kings of Leon.
Oh, yeah. Your sex is on fire.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking about. It's a common thing.
My bed sheets are ablaze. I've screamed his name, building up like waves, crashing over my grave. So, like, is this relationship going to be the end of her? Is that what she's saying? Her
I don't
grave?
know. We've talked about it before, but there's a French phrase called "la petite mort," which is little death or an orgasm. So that could be the grave she's talking about. I don't really know, but it will be the end of her previous relationship.
Without ever touching his skin, how can I be guilty as sin?
I should have said current relationship, not previous.
Sure. It's all good.
Yeah.
We go to the bridge. Here's a religious reference. What if I roll the stone away? They're going to crucify me anyway. What if the way you hold me is actually what's holy? So no matter what she does here, it's bad for her.
Yeah.
No matter what she does, she's going to get crucified.
Right.
But she's in her head. It sounds like she's trying to reason with herself that this is okay to be, in my mind, stepping out of my relationship. Because what if this is the one? What if this is the right one? What if this is what's holy? And that makes sense, what you're saying, Amy, that she thinks her relationships are her religion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she's seeking. She's seeking to be holy, and it's with this other person, not the
Also,
current one.
This is the first time she said you instead of we, he.
Right.
So
Who is she talking about? I think it could be taken either way.
also she's accepting this new religion, no longer a false god, because she's not referring to them in third person as us, as he. Now she's specifically saying you.
If the long-suffering propriety is what they want from me, they don't know how you've haunted me so stunningly. I choose you and me religiously.
Choosing this person above all else. What is propriety?
It's doing what is accepted standards of behavior or morals. So what you think is right. And then I love how she does stunning and haunting. She's playing with the contradictions. You wouldn't think that something haunted would be stunning as well. Usually it's a positive thing, right?
Well, and then, followed up closely by religiously.
Yeah.
Haunting, stunningly, religiously. Religiously and haunting don't go together.
No, but she loves playing with words.
And is long-suffering propriety, meaning Taylor Swift, the megastar who can't, according to media, keep a boyfriend, keep love. We just want her out writing music while she's miserable, because that's when, according to the prologue or epilogue, she makes the best music. Do we want her to suffer because we want more from her? Or is it she would suffer because the fans were trying to tell her who she can and can't love because this person isn't good for her?
Right. Either way, she can't escape. However way you want to take it, which is just such a terrible place to be in.
She can't win.
She goes on to sing the chorus. What if he's written mine on my upper thigh, only in my mind? One slip and falling back into the hedge maze. Oh, what a way to die. I keep recalling things we never did. Messy top lip kiss. How I long for our trysts. Without ever touching his skin, how can I be guilty as sin?
Guilty as sin.
And then there's a little outro at the end of the song. He sent me Downtown Lights. And Downtown Lights is a song that we learned earlier. It's the same song that's referenced earlier. And it's in quotations. So it's like she's talking about a thing. Yeah. It's the official title of something. He sent me Downtown Lights. I hadn't heard it in a while. Am I about to cry?
Am I allowed to cry? Right?
Yes.
Am I allowed to cry?
And I think it's so interesting because she starts with this and then she goes through the whole fantasy. She lays it all out for us. And then she's right back where she started, at the end.
A bit, because whenever she started the song, she says, drowning in the blue Nile, he sent me Downtown Lights. I hadn't heard it in a while. My boredom's bone deep. This cage was once just fine. Well, then in the last verse, she says, he sent me Downtown Lights. Hadn't heard it in a while. Am I allowed to cry? She's no longer bored.
She's censoring herself.
She's no longer caged. Now she's out. She's free. She's just reflecting and am I allowed to cry? The shortest verse in the Bible is Jesus wept, and it's right before he resurrected Lazarus. This person was saying that she's asking for permission to resurrect herself. Some have speculated if it's to come out or to possibly be this dirty version of herself.
Interesting.
With the person that's being viewed as bad, but she's asking, can I do it? I'm still human. Can I do it? Can I resurrect myself? Am I the phoenix rising from the ashes once again? Can I do this? And she's asking for permission.
That's probably some of the only Bible trivia I know, the shortest Bible verse.
That was off the top of my head and not.
Hey, that was good. That was good. I did know that one.
Yeah.
Love this song, though.
It is a good song. It's a steamy song. It's a sexy song. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Have to add it to my playlist. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. No. Maybe just in the mood would be the word.
Now
kidding,
I'm
guys.
uncomfortable, Nick. You looked at me while you said that.
Just trying to give you a little bit of what you've been wanting, Lacey.
All right.
Yeah, so what did we miss here? Let us know. Our email is in the description of this podcast. We'd love to hear from you. But before we go, we want to hear more from you. We got some voicemails, right, Lacey?
Yes, we have a couple of things to hit real quick. Don't forget that we have a Eras Tour pre-party coming up in Miami. It's going to be on October 19th. We're having the party from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Lowe's Miami Beach Hotel right on South Beach. It's going to be so much fun. We're doing dress up and games and giveaways and a live podcast recording. We're going to have games. I just said that.
Photo ops.
Yeah. Friendship making bracelets. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's always great for Swifties to get together. This is, again, at the Lowe's Miami Beach Hotel. We don't have Eras Tour tickets yet. We're still going and going to have a good time. If you don't have Eras Tour tickets, but you're going to be around, come. If you're going to be there that weekend anyway, come. If you want to make the drive, come. We would love to see you. You can get your tickets for only $13 at the13podcast.net. Also, be sure to follow our new Instagram account at the13TS Podcast.
I got to say, since we're talking about our party, I'm very proud of ourselves. The tickets are selling very well.
They are.
I'm very proud of ourselves because we're doing, like, for the first time, we're doing an event in a different city. We're stepping outside of our comfort zone, and the Lobsters are there showing up to support. So it'll be a lot of fun. So we want to make sure that you're there as well.
So, great point, Nick. Thank you for pointing that out. If you're thinking about coming, get your tickets.
Yeah, don't wait.
Because we are going to sell out. And once we're sold out, it's at capacity. We can't do anything about it. So,
and we are looking for a photographer, too, that's based in Miami that would like to come hang. Shoot us a DM, shoot us an email. We'll chat. We would love to be able to capture this fun event in a really great way.
and thank you to the vendors that have been sending us stuff as well. We've been getting stuff from vendors so we can donate and do them as giveaways. We will be properly thanking these people later. But thank you to all the Swifties, and cannot wait to see you there. So before we move on to listener voicemails, this is something that I never, ever thought would happen, would be referenced, would anything. But Pop Culture Thesaurus on TikTok pointed out the karma that no one was waiting for.
Taylor said, "I keep my side of the street clean. You wouldn't know what I mean." We didn't know that this would apply to Dave Grohl. We didn't know.
Mic drop. Dave Grohl is the lead singer of Foo Fighters. I'm a big fan. I share a birthday with him. I'm legally obligated to say that because January birthdays suck. So me and Dave
right
Grohl,
after Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, cool for us. But Dave Grohl earlier this year came out with some very unnecessary S-talk, trying to say Taylor Swift didn't perform live. He was also in London at, sorry but factual, a much smaller venue than Taylor Swift at Wembley Stadium, and he made some comment about errors happen. You can call us the Errors Tour because they play live for 3.5 hours, insinuating that Taylor Swift does not. And she does. And she did come back. She made no statements about it. But the next day she said, "Thank you to my band who performs live every night for 3.5 hours." That was her response. But here recently in the news, Dave Grohl came out and said he just had a baby girl with someone else outside of his marriage. He's been married for a really long time. Announced that he had a baby girl, making it up to his wife and family. Sorry for what they're going through, truly. But I just thought that was funny because whoever would have thought
that it could be applied somewhere else in life.
And it really is a bummer. I love Dave Grohl. I love his personality. I like his music. I just kind of like his journey. And yeah, he has this family and these daughters, but he's also had some hardships in his life. He's lost his two of his best friends, Kurt Cobain and Taylor Hawkins, early when they shouldn't have passed away. And so, like, it sucks. I just listened to his autobiography. I do a lot of audiobooks, and I listened to it, and it was great. It was really good. And then, like, 2 weeks later, he says this bad stuff about Taylor. And, like, a month later, it comes out that wasn't the nicest in his marriage. And so it's like, oh, man.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And, again, celebrities are people.
Yeah.
Celebrities are flawed. And
sure.
it just sucks that he came after our girl.
I know.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. Wishing the best for him and his family, though. That is truly no ill will at all. But I would have never made that connection. But, man, Swift Talk is all over it. Okay. So from our listener voicemail, you can reach us at Reputation 689 214, which is 214, which is Valentine's Day, which is what the movie that Taylor Swift is in, 1313. It takes me so long to think about.
So it's 689-214-1313.
That was in real time. If y'all enjoyed us Googling earlier, that's in real time how long it takes me to think up this phone number. So from our Google voicemail, Natalie from Indianapolis said that she can't wait to hear our predictions for her upcoming Eras Tour show that she is attending.
Hey, 13 Podcast. This is Natalie from Indianapolis, and I'm actually going to go to night 3 of Winter Comes to Indy, and I'm so excited about it. I am a Speak Now fan, just like Anna, and I'm hoping for a long live because I think she's going to play it. I think it's one of the last nights of the Eras Tour, like the last of the U.S., and I feel like she'll play it, if not there, then Canada. But I really hope for that one because Speak Now got shafted, but that's okay. And I'm also hoping for, like, a mashup of some sort. Hoping for, like, a debut song in there, and kind of, like, her older music's kind of my favorite. But for my outfit, I'm going to dress up as Lover. And I'm so excited because I just love, like, the colors and stuff for the album. It's not my favorite, but it's really good. So I'm excited about that. It was just, like, a last-minute surprise from my aunt, so I'm excited. So, yeah. Hope to see what you guys predict for that day.
Yeah, I already know what I'm predicting that day. I mean, it's easy. Night 3, Indianapolis, right? That's what she's saying? It's Maroon and Cornelia Street. Y'all don't have that planned out already? It's obvious.
Wow.
So many signs. So many signs.
You are so on top of it.
Natalie, I hope all your wildest dreams come true. I would have said long live and a very nice.
I'm not feeling it. No.
Yeah, very nice mashup. But congratulations, Natalie. Glad that you're getting to go. How cool of your aunt to put that together. And your outfit sounds fire. So send pics. Kayla left us a voicemail wanting to tell us her Rep TV prediction.
Hi, my name is Kayla. First off, love the pod, but I have a theory about Rep TV. I've been working on it for a few months now. What I think is that she will follow roughly the same timeline as when she announced/released Speak Now and 1989 after Midnights. So if she follows that timeline, I think she'll announce Rep TV in November, but release sometime early next year, specifically after January 29th, because that's the Chinese New Year, which is the year of the snake next year. So it's only fitting if Rep TV is released in the year of the snake. Thanks, guys. And if this is wrong, feel free to laugh at me. Okay, bye.
I think
that makes more sense than anything else I've heard.
I like
the
it.
year of the snake,
Yeah.
that makes total sense to me. Then some numbers and stuff that just happen to add up to something.
Yeah.
I think the year of the snake is a more, I think that's a
It's
bigger
fitting.
statement. Yes, it's fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kayla,
Absolutely.
that is genius. I absolutely love that. She's saying January 29th, the year of the snake. I challenge you. What if it's January 14th, which is my birthday and Dave Grohl's birthday? What if she decides to release Reputation TV then? January the 14th. I just looked it up. It is on a Tuesday.
That's
But
not a
we like
release day.
Tuesday. That's
We like
whenever
Tuesdays.
we release our episodes. Taylor Swift can do whatever she wants.
She can.
That would numb the suck of a January birthday, though. In any of them, but especially on my birthday. Taylor Swift, if you're listening, January 14th. Kirsten from Tulsa left us a voicemail, also with a Reputation TV theory.
Hey, besties. It's Kirsten from Tulsa. I just watched the I Can Do It With a Broken Heart music video. And, you know, we just saw that new Torture Post Department set, the gold top and bottom. We have not seen that set yet. And it made me think of Reputation. Deep blue, but you painted me golden from Dancing with Our Hands Tied. I think that when we see this outfit on stage, it is going to be an Easter egg that Rep is dropping. I don't know. Maybe it's out there. I love ya. Lacey, I hope you had a great time in London. I'm super jealous. And love you, love you, love you. Bye.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it.
People really mastermind what she's wearing, and there's still another outfit that hasn't been released yet. But absolutely love the theory, Kirsten, and we love you always. Thank you for calling. One final voicemail is from someone, Lucy from New Jersey, and her mom's mad at us. And I think this might be a weird episode to put it on,
Yeah,
but
well.
I'm doing it. So sorry, Mom.
Hi, 13 at Taylor Swift Fan Podcast. I'm Lucy from New Jersey. I think my mom's mad at me for playing it at night because she thinks that someone's in my house. I love your podcast. Bye.
So Lucy plays our podcast at night, and it freaks her mom out because she's, who are these voices?
She hears voices coming
and
from her daughter's room.
Yeah, which is understandable. You hear a noise. What is that? Is someone in my home? So Lucy, keep it quiet, or
Put some headphones on. Will you send you some headphones?
Earbuds, yeah.
Yeah, don't be freaking your mom out like that.
That's so funny.
I thought that was funny though. And lastly, I got a package from Pippa in London. She sent some cool things that I'm going to do for a TikTok video. So I will open that, a Taylor Swift VIP Eras tour. But she also sent her wedding soundtrack. She has so many Taylor Swift songs that she's walking down the aisle to, snippets to Bridesmaids. And by the time this is posted, she will already be married. So congratulations to Pippa and James.
Congrats, Pippa and James.
So
Yay.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for 13, a Taylor Swift Fan Podcast. Again, we got a party going on. All the event details you can find at the link in the description of this podcast. Be sure to subscribe to us wherever you're listening to us right now. And join us next time. We're breaking down
Who's afraid? A little old me. You should be.
Hey, lobsters and Swifties. My name is Christy, and I am lucky enough to be friends with Lacey G. And I am also a gigantic fan of 13 and Taylor Swift podcast. I am a Guilty as Sin fan. Like, I believe in Guilty as Sin superiority. And let me tell you the crazy story about how I got mine tattooed on my upper thigh. So I quite literally have mine written on my upper thigh, and I went and got it done with Lacey G. I was on my Joe to Maddie to Travis pipeline, and I was in my Maddie era. I was hanging out with the smallest, tallest man who ever lived. It was my birthday. He came out afterwards and he made me cry because he said that my only red flag was that I liked Taylor Swift too much. So naturally, I took that as a challenge. I went and got a Taylor Swift tattoo the next day from Ari at Origins Tattoo in Dallas. She is amazing. She was so great. Her fiance was awesome. She was like F petty men. We are so done with them. We're tatting this on our thigh and we're moving on. And now I'm with my Travis and I'm in my happy, magic, fun era, and anything couldn't be greater. Guilty as Sin is the best song, and here is the Taytoos. Bye.
Thanks for listening. The 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.